Hey everyone, Tracy here with Not Afraid of Color, and today's video I'm going to show you some stamps from Local King Rubber Stamps that my friend Suzanne sent me. So here's a picture of the finished card and a couple of different views of it, and let's go ahead and get started on this. For today I've got the Pond Friends, and then my friend Suzanne sent me all these die cuts because I don't have the dies that go with this set. And I am going to be using strictly Simon Hurley inks to get these put together. So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to find the right fishy that fits on there. And yeah, I had to flip it over, I had it upside down. And I'm going to take my ink and I'm going to start out by just dabbing some of the different oranges and yellows on there without, a whole lot of focus. I want, some dark, which is the game over. Then I'm going to take this little makeup brush and I'm just going to tap down the color so that it kind of blends together because I want it to kind of blend, but not perfectly. And then I'm going to give it a little quick spray with some water. And I'm going to carefully just set down the die cut onto the stamp, trying to make sure I match it up. I'm going to give it a little press down with my chunky tool, and then lift it up, and he's stamped out. Super easy to do it that way, if you have any decent eyesight. So I'm going to clean that off, and I'm going to do another one. I'm going to kind of do the same. I'm going to start out with the shooting star, and then go in with some guppy. And I'm going to hit it with some roar. And I think I won't get this one wet. We're going to find out here. So you can just play around to get what you get. And I've got still a little bit of that traffic cone ink on my little makeup applicator. So I'm just kind of letting that blend in. You don't want to accidentally dry these. And I did give that, yes, I did give it a tiny, tiny squirt of water there, just to kind of help the ink move around. And I'm going to press this one down onto the stamp and then add a little even pressure with my my little pressure tool, which I call Chunky. And now I've got a beautifully colored fish. They look natural, like fish would look in the water. So let's do this little swimmy guy. I love these stamps, they're adorable. So I'm going to go in with the guppy and the shooting star. A little bit of the roar. Just kind of move it around. Again, using that same little makeup brush. Little squirt of water. Probably got too much water that time, but it's fine. Then again, I'm going to just kind of place the stamp down onto the upside down stamp and give it a push. It's a pretty small one, so I feel like my fingers will be fine. And there he is. So we've got our three little fishies doing the boop boop did 'em down and why not chew thing. And I will be taking a black ink pen and kind of going around the eyes. And I tend to use a Sharpie for this situation because they work. I can't think of any other reason other than they work. So just kind of adding that eyeball detail there. And I don't know if these are goldfish. They're just pond fish, whatever kind of fish they are. They live in a pond. But they sure are pretty. I do like their tails. I'm just drawing in that eye detail, real simple, real quick. And I've got my fish ready. And then I've got some plants, but I'm not going to stamp out the plants. I'm just going to color them. Because frankly, it leaves too much of a border for my taste. And so I am just going to go in with the fake plant and just kind of tap the color on, and then I'll go in with the Tropical Tango and tap it on as well. Because these, if you think about it, they're going to appear to be kind of underwater, so they're not going to be evenly colored. they're going to have, you know, dark spots and light spots because they're moving constantly. So I've got the look I want there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use some Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock, and I am going to ink blend onto it with the, I'm going to start out with the Midnight Snack, so the darkest color. And I'm going to use my blending brush, and I'm going to kind of clean it off here. And I'm just going to blend, you know, the top fourth or third or so, because I will be blending them together. And this is going to be going from dark to light, just as if they were deeper underwater, going up to lighter underwater. And this is the new blue one, whose name I can't think of. Shooting Star? No. No Diving. Yeah, there we go. I'll get it. I will, I promise. And I'm kind of blending it together with the Midnight Snack. And I don't mind that there's globby parts on there. So then I'm going to go in with the Tropical Tango and roughly blend it in. This is supposed to look like water, and not smooth water. Just regular water, moving water. Just kind of blend this in. I really need to re-ink my pads. They really need it. And then I'm going to finish off with the Breakup Blue at the very top. And pretty lightly. Till I've got it basically just covered. I'm going to clean up my mess here. And just add in a little bit of the Breakup Blue, and I've got a goober on my paper. It's okay, I can trim that off. Now I'm going to take my water squirter, and I want controlled drops. I don't want any floppies, so I'm just getting my fan brush wet in the water and then tapping it so that it looks like bubbles, because that's the look I'm wanting, is, you know, underwater bubbles. Okay, I've got my bubbles here. And the Simon Hurley Stark White cardstock really takes the water well, you know, in this instance. And, you know, I've watercolored on it before too. So I'm trimming this down to 4 1/4 or 4 by 5 1/4. And next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to grab the little leaves or the little seaweed pieces, whatever you want to call them. And I'm going to start stamping down some seaweed here. And I'm going to use some Tropical Tango. And just start kind of just randomly stamping them down. And these are not necessarily foreground as they are supposed to be background. So I'm just going in and just stamping it. That's all. Just flat out stamping it. Then I'll switch out stamps and get the smaller one and fill in some more. Okay. Just want to fill it all in there. And see, that one didn't stamp quite all the way, so I'll go back in again. Doesn't matter. This is a super simple project. So now I need to decide on the placement of my fish. Who's going to go on and who's not. Because all three is going to be maybe too much. So, because I want a sentiment too. And then I've got my leaves that I already colored, and they're going to be foreground leaves. Or seaweed, whatever, what have you. So I'll go ahead and I'm going to glue the fish flat down. Here's one little fishy. Just get him tapped down, and I'm using my reptile adhesive. And then I'll go ahead and tap down my second little fishy. And he's kind of chasing the first guy who's trying to get away. And yes, I will be putting these over the fish and not popping anything up. Just, oops, trying to be careful. Just gluing it straight down. Don't get me wrong, I like popped up cards. I have no issue with them, but this one is not going to be a card with pop-up. That other fishy I'll put inside. And so there I've got a place for a sentiment, and I'm just going to use the Hello sentiment from Unity Stamps Company. It's a favorite because the font is kind of a skinny font. So I'm just going to grab the Hello, and I'm going to kind of center it so I have something to aim for and a way to line up my card. And for this I am going to use the VersaFine Clair in black. And kind of decide where I want the sentiment and pray. And it's always that way for me because I have a terrible time hand stamping, but I'm happy with how that came out. Very happy with that. So that's that. I'm going to go ahead and use this Wow embossing powder, and I'm going to just make multiple little dots with an embossing pen, and this is also a Wow embossing pen. And then I'm going to dump the embossing powder on, and what's going to happen is that my word will get embossed, and so will my little spots that I made. And this is the halo, by the way. Nancy had it, and I had to have it too. No, I'm not a Me Too person, but I loved it. I thought it was really awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and just take my heat tool and emboss that sparkly stuff down. Anywhere that it landed, I'm perfectly fine with, because sparkly things in the water are sparkly things in the water. Okay, so that part's done. Here's what the card front looks like. You can kind of see the sparkle there, hopefully, in the camera. And what I want to do is I'm going to take my dye ink pad, and I'm going to take this little Stampin' Up pen. I'm going to try and clean the green off it. And there's just a couple of spots on the fishies that I want to fill in. And not too much, just little bits here and there that, you know, kind of I felt like needed a little bit more color. And Simon's ink works great for it. I'm just going straight to pad and just coming in and filling in some spaces. You know, some parts where I want the ink to be just a little bit darker, or for instance, when, you know, I don't like a whole lot of white border around, so, you know, kind of fill that in as close to the edge as I can. Then I'm going to glue this down to a blue card base. And this is just a cheap Recollections. You get like 50, and they're, you know, all of them are dog-eared, but it's okay. I don't mind. I'm just going to glue that straight down there, and then I'll do the inside of the card. And you rarely get to see me do the inside of the card, but today I will. Because I have that extra little fish I need to do something with, so I need to decide where to put him. And I'll just put some glue on him. Again, he's not going to be popped up or anything, and I'm going to have him just sitting there at the top. And I'll trim off that excess there. Okay, and then I need to put something inside. Let's see here. I kind of want to keep the same font, so I am going to use something from this stamp set. And just I'm going to put a thinking of you. Nothing punny or anything. Probably I might send this one to like one of my grandchildren. Just out of the blue. I think it's fun to get a card out of the blue. So we've got that. We've got the inside done. We've got the outside done. Now it's time for some embellishment. And I'm going to use these sort of little iridescent confetti. These are from Honeybee Stamps. And I put them all together, so I don't have the names of each one, but sorry about that. I just didn't feel the need to keep it. And do the third one right there. And then I want a couple more just in a couple of other little spots, medium-sized one, another medium-sized one, just to kind of add to the bubble effect of the water. I'll pour these back into their little jar. These jars, I don't know where I got these. I think I got them at Walmart. They're Doris brand. And I'm going to put some glossy accents here on the eyes, just to kind of make them stand out a little bit. And that's about it. We'll wait for that to dry and this card will be finished. Yeah, it's a quickie. If you like this video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. And hit that notification bell if you want to be notified every time I upload a new video. Again, these are Local King rubber stamps and Simon Hurley inks. Thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Y'all have a good one.